consider it our job to bring Texas to you. And we wouldn't be doing our job right if we didn't bring you the most charming, where everyone knows your name, small town in Texas, Turkey. Its population might only be 325, but it's 325 of the most hospitable folks you'll ever meet. Steeped in history, coming into Turkey feels like you've taken a step back in time. A time before bustling freeways and social media, a time with some gosh dang peace and quiet, and limited cell service. Turkey was officially established in 1893. Well, the first time anyway. They had a bit of a rocky start. There was a post office and a town, and then there wasn't. And then Turkey finally got back on its feet in 1900 when the post office was reestablished. When the railroad came around in the 1920s, Turkey became an important shipping hub for farmers and ranchers. It hit its peak population of about 1,000 residents. Then the devastation of the Great Depression hit the town hard, and the population started dwindling. Over the years, people slowly trickled out, until the current day population of about 325. But even in Texas, where everything is known to be bigger, this place shows that the small can be mighty. I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors of this episode, LEC, Leading Edge Connections, 271 Creative, and without a doubt our two new sponsors, which is Rock and Roll Denim and Panhandle Western Wear. We had the pleasure of meeting with a few of the locals on this trip to see what life is like in small town Texas. Our first stop is a multi-generational owned shop in the heart of Turkey, Lacy Dry Goods. A store that's been here since 1916 and is family owned for over 5 generations.
I'm Chancey and I am the part owner of Lacy Dry Goods in Turkey, Texas. We're a multi-generational family business. I'm the 5th generation, which is pretty awesome. We've been here for a really long time and we really hope to stay here for a really long time. My mom is Lisa and she helps me with everything in the store. She displays, she helps me buy, so she's my #1 free employee. She helps babysit my kids. She does it all.
We have a wide variety. Dry goods means a little bit of everything, and that's what we try to do. We try to offer everything that the farmer and rancher community needs in our area. So jeans, boots, hats, gloves. And then we like to do a little bit on the prettier side too. We have a wide variety.
We have so many people that come from Lubbock, Amarillo, the DFW area. And when they come in here, they're not looking for workwear. So we've really expanded that, and that's been a challenge, but a good challenge.
Well, I was gonna say your customer base ranges from city slickers to legit ranchers and farmers, right?
Yeah.
Who are coming in here for necessity type clothing
Yes.
or items, versus someone else who's in town who may not have ever owned a cowboy hat. Just so people know out there, just because you live here doesn't mean you have a hat and boots. There are people that live in Texas that don't.
Yes.
So this may be the first place they wander into and grab some of that stuff, right?
Definitely.
Well, so if we were to walk around the store, what would you want to show us first? Because I want to kind of take some time and go around and look at a few things.
Okay.
Mom, why don't you show us maybe some things you think are really unique about that you've been able to find and that you guys offer here that people may not even realize you have?
Well, one of the things is bridal registry.
Okay.
If there's showers in the area, they usually come in here and register with us. And we carry a line of, this is a new line of dishes that we are carrying. Really practical, and seems like the new looks are more neutrals and pottery kind of a look. So that's what we have here. And we carry a lot of glassware. We just started with this line. It's called Rocasa.
Okay.
So Rocasa is a line of products, health products, cleaning products, hair products. They kind of cover a big, wide range of things, but they are all natural and they are made in Texas, which is another awesome selling point for Rocasa. And it's something that we just started and it has just taken off.
I think that's one of the things that I've seen in the state with some of the great shops and things like that they're embracing some of the new modern stuff, but a lot of it's Texas made stuff, right?
and it's more organic or more health consciously made, or maybe more socially responsible or whatever it is.
Right.
But it's still our stuff, so it's pretty cool. You guys are incorporating that with what you already have here.
This is our women's section. We have everything from super Western to pickleball attire. I mean, you can see we run the gamut of styles. We also just got this new, in the past probably year, we've been starting to carry Navajo pearls and genuine turquoise.
Okay.
And that's been a great addition to our store and something we haven't always had. So, and again, it's kind of like row closet. Not everybody carries that. You know, that's something that is kind of unique.
No, and the turquoise stuff is popular again.
It is. This is what the store was kind of founded on. I mean, we have rows and rows of Wrangler jeans. We have workwear and work boots in the back. We have Red Wing. We have Anderson Bean for more of a dress boot. We do all of our felt hats. We have, a whole rack of felt hats.
I saw you got a bunch of straw ready to go too.
Yes, we have tons of straws for spring ready. So we kind of have it all.
Yeah.
It's just finding us sometimes that's hard. This is Dolores.
Dolores. Okay. So Dolores, one of the things we were looking at as we're going through the store is just kind of getting a little history on the store. Being that you guys are a multi-generational family-owned business, and you've been here, how long have you been in this store?
Since I was born.
Okay.
And I'm 83. Does that tell you anything?
No, that's so.
My mom and dad had it when I was born. They lived in the back of the store the first 7 years they had it, but by the time I was born, they had bought a house.
Okay.
But my mother worked every day, and she pulled me down here in a little red wagon.
Yeah. What was it like back then? What, like when you walked in the store, what do you remember it looking like and being like?
This side was the original store.
Okay.
That building.
Okay.
There was a wall right here.
Yep.
And this was another dry goods store. This was Christian Dry Goods.
Okay.
I was probably 10, 12 years old, and he and my uncle knocked this wall out.
Okay.
My mother made cotton sacks for people to pull bowls with.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, millions. Her sewing machine is back there on top of that. It's an old Singer sewing machine, and she made, I don't know.
Yeah.
She sat all fall and made cotton sacks for people to pull bowls with.
Yeah. So this store has always been kind of a place that just meets the needs of the people that are around the area.
Right.
Have you seen those needs change drastically?
Oh,
Can you give me some examples?
Well, we don't do cotton. We don't do cotton anymore.
Yeah. Turkey's become like a hot topic around Texas.
We're glad.
Yeah.
We need it to be.
Yeah.
Well, I ran it until just a few years ago because I couldn't. And finally, I had a grandkid that wanted it. I didn't want it to close, and I didn't want to try. I mean, we couldn't have sold it,
She worked until she was 76.
Yeah.
I think it was time to get to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she's retired and she's still here every day.
Yeah. Was there any stories about Bob Wills coming in the store?
When I was a little girl, probably 10, 12 years old, he would come through town and they'd park their bus. He was a barber. And he learned to barber at this ham barbershop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He barbered it. And then after he got famous, he'd park his bus across the street. And they'd all go in the barbershop and they'd play music and things. And my daddy would let me go to the drugstore building, which is one door down.
Yeah.
Because I could hear the music from there, but I couldn't hear them talk.
Okay. So you couldn't hear the conversations.
My daddy didn't want me to hear those men talk.
Thank you for stopping to talk to us.
Oh,
Tell
sure.
us a little bit about your family and your store. So we'll be back.
What a unique story for their family, and a great shop too.
The Cowboy Experience Show is proud to be filmed and sponsored by one of Austin's coolest media teams. They wrangle up high-quality media for businesses, artists, and creatives who want to leave their mark. With a combo of big ideas and bold visuals, 271 Creative House is sure to make your story shine as bright as the Texas star.
This downtown area is so well preserved you can almost hear Bob Wills playing his fiddle in the streets. If you aren't sure who that is, Bob Wills is a country music legend. He basically pioneered Western swing music. Turkey was his hometown, and in fact, the same barbershop he used to cut hair and play his fiddle in is still around. Ham's Barbershop has been recently renovated and is a working barbershop again. They did a great job of staying true to its history. There's also a museum dedicated to Bob Wills and a whole celebration called Bob Wills Day the town puts on every year, where Turkey sees over 10,000 people flood into their small town. I'll have to come back and see that. Speaking of beautifully renovated history, Hotel Turkey is the gem of the town. The hotel opened in 1927 and has been around ever since. It's said to be the oldest continuously operating hotel in Texas. There have been multiple owners in that time, as you can imagine, and it's been owned and operated by Pat and Tina since 2015. They've been doing a great job renovating the hotel and breathing new life into it. They started bringing in great music talent for entertainment and serving up the best ribeye steaks you'll ever have in your life. Locally sourced from Texas Tech. Go Red Raiders. That's where we're staying tonight. So let's get checked in and chat with Tina, who owns the hotel, with her husband Pat, and Carly, the booking manager.
How did that come about? Like, were you guys hunting for hotels?
It's kind of a funny story. I mean, it's one of those, it's probably the only thing, not one of those, but the only thing in Turkey that people have it's a little bit iconic and just a historical building, and people drive by and say, wow, wouldn't that be neat? My whole life, we'd be like, wow, wish somebody would do something with that. But we certainly weren't looking to buy it. But our friend, Cody Bell, actually owned the hotel, and that's a whole nother story of how he ended up owning it. But he didn't really want to do anything with it. I would say Cody saved the hotel from being just being the end of the end. Until somebody else came by, and he kind of talked us into it, to be honest.
What was the initial plan? Was it going to be a hotel, or was it going to be
You know, it was definitely it was in operation still, and as we talked about earlier, supposedly it's the longest continuously operated hotel in Texas. So it's never closed, never quit housing guests or hosting guests, and so it was still operating, but it was in dire need of some TLC. And so yes, our plan was like, hey, let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll do one room at a time and make it a little better. We like food, we like music. So our initial plan was definitely let's see what we can do with the restaurant, get people to come eat here. And if we're gonna have a restaurant, let's have some live music, because that's just kind of what Pat and I are interested in. You know, Pat and I really thought, well, this is easy, this is slow. We can just kind of take our time and renovate some rooms and see what happens. Not, just try to do everything small scale, not sink a lot of money into it. Well, we quickly figured out that immediately people were interested. And people were like, well, I want to stay there, or I want to, book a room. And we were like, well, we're not ready, And so then we kind of tried to catch up and say, okay, what do we need to do?
Is there anything that happened along the way that really set it on fire? Because now it's really popular. Like it's a must stop on the roadmap when you look around the Texas. Like if you're traveling Texas, you need to go to Turkey and stay at Hotel Turkey.
Well, initially, I think just us hosting and being friendly and inviting people and being nice to people was part of it.
COVID was a weird thing for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, right? And so here, how did that impact?
Well, I think we were lucky to catch a time that people were just kind of looking for something to do outside of cities. And the fact that we cooked good food and had live music, that really was the beginning. Obviously we had some big things come after that, but I think that just kind of got people seeing us. In fact, our county did not go over the COVID threshold until the January of 2021. People were looking for a place to go and be and still get this kind of entertainment, the kind of experiences that they could get prior to that. And again, we were safe. We didn't have big COVID outbreaks here. Also, we were lucky in the fact that we've got all this space. I mean, you'll see in a second, but we just could keep putting people 10 foot apart forever. And so it was pretty easy to maintain that. Now, it definitely kickstarted us into saying, oh, wow, we've got a bigger crowd than we've had before, and we got to figure out how to handle that.
So how many rooms did you have? Did you have these containers? We're in one of the containers right now.
Yeah. So we had all of our rooms functioning by then, and I always say that this place is a work in progress. By no means are we finished with anything. And even the rooms that we completely renovated when we bought the hotel, it's been almost 10 years. So we're definitely a work in progress.
And you had mentioned on the way in, but I want to reiterate that part of the reasons it's containers and not trailers and other stuff was because of the COVID thing too,
that
where
definitely was 2020.
Between COVID and Matthew McConaughey, Airstreams got very popular.
This is the outdoor stage. This is what we call the big stage. Our very first big stage show was with Grady Spencer, and we just had Grady back a couple of weeks ago. And where we've grown is just that first one. It was chaos, absolute chaos.
It all went off, but
It
we
was just
were
barely. The most we've ever had out at the hotel is about 700 for Josh Weathers. And then we have this giant dance floor. I would be remiss to say, when Tina was talking about friends, yes, we have musician friends that have just helped make this place. But we have friends, just friends that have come along and helped make this place.
Surprising.
Our friends Darren and Linda Fisher are just friends and customers.
Yeah.
They ended up buying a place, building a place here. They've become really, really good friends, to the point that they built us a new stage so that we didn't have to ask people to play on a cotton trailer. This dance floor.
Yeah.
And they are invested, and we didn't ask them to, but they just did it. And the thing is that
he's a little pushy like that.
But Darren Fisher Welding, Enid, Oklahoma. More of those Oklahoma people.
Oklahoma people are okay.
Yeah.
My best friend's from Oklahoma, so he's a Texan now.
But that is, when I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, when we talk about what we're doing here at the hotel, we try and have plans, and we try to have a contingency and all this sort of stuff. But we're really just taking opportunities as we get them and making the most of them. Yeah. And what has happened around us is the town has begun to grow. We've had new businesses coming in. We have new residents. And it's just really fantastic to see that all of that can happen when you see an old building and decide that it doesn't need to fall down. It needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how the impact you guys have made with this now. But now that the momentum is picking up, we were driving down the road and I was like, this won't be like this in 10 years. There'll be a lot more stuff here that people will be bringing in. And not, in a good way. I think people can start contributing and seeing what you're talking about. And I think there'll be other opportunities for people to put things here and grow the community.
Yeah.
And I think we've already heard how much the people in the area appreciate what you guys have done and how that's contributed back to the community. So that's a good part of what you guys do, outside of just creating a really cool and fun place for other people to stop by.
This is
our back patio.
This is our back patio. This is where we do most of what we do. And when you said it feels like camp, that makes total sense, because we have this area out here where the kids can play in the sandbox over there. Music is happening in the music shed or on this stage out here, and this is where people come together to hang out with their old friends and make some new ones. And this is where we'll have music tonight, and we have I'd say about 75% of our music happens in the music shed.
Okay.
Yeah. Any given night there'll be kids running around playing, meeting new friends as well, and so that's always fun.
Building community. I mean, it's a really cool part. I mean, it's like a historical way for people to connect, right? Music and food, conversation. You get them connected all the time. All right, Tina. So we're in the lobby of the hotel, and so maybe kind of just walk us through like how this place is set up and what's in here and how you want people to feel when they walk in too.
Okay, awesome. So when we bought the hotel, the lobby definitely needed some work. We wanted it to stay, and kind of with the whole hotel, but when you walk in, we want it to feel like 1927.
Okay.
But then obviously we want to also make it feel like Hotel Turkey present time.
Okay.
And so this little wall behind us, we kind of change it with the seasons. Had a little cowboy weekend. We've got Bob Wills coming up, but we definitely adapt that, and you never know what you're saying. But it becomes a photo op for people that come in.
Yeah.
And definitely we get a lot of that posted with our tags. So the ceiling is original, and I think there's an old hotel in New Mexico that evidently there was a gunshot in the ceiling at the bar. And so sometimes, I tell that story. That's not really what that hole is in the ceiling that I know of. But yeah, we just want people to feel welcome and walk in and just get a little preview of what's going on. Because just like in the lobby, the rooms, we have definitely kept some of the original aspects, but also tried to update and make you feel comfortable, because people want to go to a hotel and feel comfortable. You don't want to go and not have.
I think it's got a great mix, like you're saying, of like a modern twist with being able to preserve the history that's here and with the architecture and with some of the stuff you've got in the room. And it gives people the ability to your point earlier, feel like they've kind of walked or taken a step back in time, or maybe just even disconnected a little bit. which opens the door for what you're doing out here, which is, hey, how do you get out there and have food and get entertained and connect with people that you may not know?
Yeah.
And you can't do that when you're, jammed up in a big city. It's not as easy to do. People aren't in that mode. They're not in that space. And so you guys have done a good job of creating that space here. I know you've got a shop. You guys put a shop in too, right?
Gift shop.
Yeah, okay.
And we, of course, sell stuff that reminds you of Hotel Turkey, and then some of our favorite things as well. So we have a little variety of things.
Yeah, mixture of
We're
art
lucky.
and all kinds of stuff.
We're lucky to work with Los Poblanos out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and get their amenity products in our rooms and in our gift shop, and so we're super happy to have that. We've got a local company in Matador that's made knives for 100 years called More Maker Knives, and we carry those, and we get people all the time that come in and want to buy More Maker Knives because it's local and, of course, a fun thing to take home.
So
our good friend Dirk Fowler, you just have a picture of that. He has done some great work for us over the years for poster design. He's out of Lubbock, and so we like to spread our love for our vendors and around.
that's great. And little personal touches and local and Texas stuff all in here.
If you have a jewelry fix, Tina's been curating jewelry.
Are you getting
turquoise.
to the I was going to say turquoise. Yeah. That's
not
addictive.
Just, she can shop for it herself.
Very addictive.
So you've got a nice little mix so people can pick up some stuff from memorabilia. Remember their time here. Do a little marketing for you when they're walking around.
Oh, it's the best thing. Like Pat makes it a point to make sure that all of our musicians leave here with either a Hotel Turkey cap or a T-shirt, and then we'll make sure you guys get one too. It says I'll grow it. Follow me to Turkey, Texas. It's the original Bob Wills bumper sticker, and it's pretty iconic, and it's really great. Like Vincent Neil Emerson was here, and he'd slapped a bumper sticker on there before it even pulled out, and so they're just all over. They're floating around. People send us pictures of them from stage when they see those bumper stickers. It's pretty.
Yeah, people send us pictures of people wearing our
Hotel Tech
our caps, and that's always fun.
Would we want to? Pat's starting the fire out.
Oh well.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect.
This is Pat. And when we first bought the hotel, one of the things, I said we were interested in was food. We're kind of foodies, and so we travel and like to eat good food. Well, Pat was like, if we're going to serve, I want to serve a good steak.
Okay.
And so he spent most of his adult life perfecting the ribeye. And so he's kind of adapted it over the years, but started cooking it out here, and we cook on Saturday nights. We have ribeye as a special. We recently added a bone-in ribeye, which is super popular and super good. But the rest of our menu comes out of the kitchen, and we've got, chicken fried steaks and burgers and several great things on our menu. But on Saturday night, it's definitely our most popular item and our most popular night that brings people out.
So Pat, the rumors are bringing people in that you cook a heck of a steak up here.
Well, we try hard. Tina's not kidding about working at it. We've worked at it, trying to find something that everybody will like.
Yeah.
I should have showed you that before we did it. We get all our meat from Texas Tech.
Okay.
And we've got a great relationship with them. We've probably been buying steaks from them for 7 years, 6 or 7 years. Yeah. And we love supporting the university. Yeah. And of course they support us. When you can get somebody to bring you that kind of meat right there consistently, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just you start off good.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the top 3% of choice beef, and then they age it for 28 days.
Okay.
So if there is any issues with cutability or tenderness or anything like that, the aging process should straighten that out, make them a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
So these are our normal steaks for Saturday night, and you can tell can't get any better.
Yeah.
And then these are the ones that Tina was talking about that we just added. Those are our bone-in ribeyes, and those are prime bone-in ribeyes.
Okay.
And just trying to add something to our menu for our repeat customers that have never been here before.
Yeah.
Might want to try something a little bit different.
How many steaks do you put out like on a Saturday night?
We will average somewhere around 75.
Okay.
We have nights where we'll cook upwards of 170.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. One of the other neat things that we do is we try to cook all of our steaks medium rare.
Okay.
We don't ask people how they want them cooked.
All right.
We try to cook a medium rare. We don't always get it perfect, but we try. And if you want a medium well or well done steak, you're welcome to.
Medium rare is great.
Well, you're welcome to bring it back to the cookers and have them cook it more. torch it some more.
Yeah.
And that seems to work for us pretty well.
I just love how you guys have tied all this stuff in to create such an amazing experience for people when they come in here. And we're looking forward to spending the night, meeting food and meeting new people and hanging out with you guys. And I want to thank you for having us out and taking time. I know you're busy, so thanks for taking time out of your day just to show us around and let us, be part of this for the evening and the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great night. Weather's beautiful, and y'all couldn't have picked a better time.
Well, let's go see what Cory's doing.
Howdy, partners. Here at the Cowboy Experience Show, we're all about connecting with the trailblazers and pioneers. That's why we're proud to partner with LEC, an outsourced contact center and CX services. At LEC, they're not just keeping up. They're setting the pace in professional services, helping businesses across the globe enhance their customer experiences and streamline operations. Leading Edge Connections, your partner in the wild west of customer experience. You can find them at leadingedgecx.com.
Our good friend and previous guest on the show, country artist Cory Cross. I'm always glad to see him and hear what he's up to.
All right, so, hey, we lucked out. We got up here in Turkey, and we're at Hotel Turkey, and our buddy Cory Cross is the featured artist for tonight to play up here. So we yanked him aside for a minute to get a couple minutes and catch up with him, because it's been a few months since we had you on the show, and we're longer, really.
Yeah.
And a lot's happened since we last talked. And I know one thing was before we talked, you were getting ready to get married.
Yes.
Now you're married.
Yeah.
So how's that going?
I was born to be married to Abby.
Good.
Yeah, we love it, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've been enjoying ourselves. We're still on our honeymoon 6 months later.
Yeah.
We're at least eating like we're still on our honeymoon, I'll tell you that.
Do it as long as you can.
That's our justification. Anytime we get like DoorDash at 11 o'clock at night or something, we're like, we're still on our honeymoon.
Well,
honeymoon for the next year.
Stay on that honeymoon as long as you can.
Yeah.
So she's here with you, right?
Yeah, she is.
She's traveling around some with you, going to some shows. That's good.
It's great when it works out like that.
So Turkey, this your first time here?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you were telling me a little bit about before, but how'd you originally hear about this place?
I've just seen a bunch of my friends and people that that I'm a fan of play here, and they do like a video series, so they have like live performance footage, and it's a great vibe. It just had a real cool look, the videos specifically, and I love coming out to West Texas. Like I was saying earlier, it's nice to get out of the big city, off the highway, and get out here.
And good people out here. We've met a bunch of people there. They've all been just salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Good. Like, you feel like you've been here a million times. They treat you so good.
Yeah.
And so, well, cool. What are you looking forward to most about this place? Is playing tonight? Is there anything?
Well, they have some steak cooking that I can smell. I think that's going to be a highlight.
Yeah.
And tonight, I'm really looking forward to the show. It's just a duo.
Okay.
So, normally I play with a full band, but when I do duo shows, I get to play a lot of songs that we don't do at the dance halls, and, some more like waltzes and slower, more contemplative stuff that, I save for shows like this, for more of a listening room type environment.
Gotcha.
So that's a treat, because it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's one thing I've realized watching and talking to some of you guys around like the different venues is they give you different opportunities to play different music even at times.
Depending on the venue.
Yeah, because if you're at someplace, you're like, hey, you got to play dance music.
Totally.
Or at least 95% of it's got to be
for sure
that. And you get in some of these other ones, you can pull some other stuff out of your repertoire and have some fun. So I'm looking forward to that. The steaks, I think that's part of the draw to the artists too. Is they're like, they feed you guys good along with the rest of us. So I smelled it coming up too. You had a new single drop since we talked. How's that going?
It's going great. Kissing the Boots. It's the first single off our upcoming full-length album. It's our sophomore album.
Okay.
So that we'll be rolling that out over the next 3 or 4 months. The full thing will come out in September. But Kissing the Boots. We're shooting a music video for it next week. It's doing good, man.
Where are y'all shooting that at?
In Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth. Okay.
Yeah, at a place called Morris Boots.
Where is that?
It's close to Dickies.
Okay.
Will Rogers. It's in the Morris Boots. It's a Fort Worth, Fort Worth.
I remember the name.
Shop.
I just couldn't remember where it was. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, congrats. I can't wait to see that come out.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Well, you guys are, you're doing really well. Where are you off to after this? What's your next show?
Next week we're doing like Yano, a really cool honky-tonkin' Yano that y'all should check out if you haven't. It's called Sundown. Have y'all seen some stuff?
We were talking about stopping by there tomorrow on the way back because Weldon's playing. on the afternoon over there, and we were like, we may be able to make it back in time. I don't know now that we're talking about going hiking, so we may not make it back in time. But yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about that place.
It's so cool, man. Mike and his wife, they have a great spot. So we're doing that on Thursday, sundown. And then Friday and Saturday, we're down in San Antonio. So we're doing like Lonesome Rose.
Nice.
And then Leander, we're at a place called Nameless Saloon. So
that's right by my house.
Oh, Nameless Saloon?
Yeah.
We've never been.
I'll be over there if you're going to be over there.
That one's either Friday or Saturday.
That's a cool little spot. Like it's unknown. We wandered in there right after they opened, and we were like, saw like Jason Boland was playing, and Ellis was opening up.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, I've been dying to see Ellis Bullard. And I was like, let's go run up there. And I thought it was going to be like a dive. Like, not when you drive by during the day, it looks like this eclectic kind of weird place. You get there at night, and it's like, it's a really cool outdoor experience, and the stage is great, so you're gonna love the stage. You got like a VIP section, cool stage, great place. So we'll come catch you over there, man, for sure.
Please do.
So I'm glad things are going good for you. Anything else going on? It's new.
I mean, the album's taking up a lot of time. So, and there's all sorts of stuff, promotion and things like that. But, and then late spring into summer is big on, we hit the road quite a lot. So like next month I'll be out in California, doing a bunch of dates around like Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, actually up to Santa Monica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we're just hitting the road, man.
That'll be fun. California, I mean, that time of year, California weather is going to be.
Can't wait.
You can't wait. Santa Barbara is a great spot too.
I've never been to Santa Barbara. Abby and I, we go to Topanga in Malibu a lot. That's actually where we went on our honeymoon. But we're looking forward to getting up to Santa Barbara, and we have friends out in Los Angeles, so.
Cool.
We love that. So
that whole area is great. You can get out there and hang out. Well, man, I'm glad to hear everything's going good. Like I said, we were excited we were going to get to link up with you coming up here. We've made our way through Midland and Lubbock yesterday, and now up here. So just really happy to hear about your success and
thank you, man.
Talk to you a little bit more and catch up.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all.
Tonight we decided to take it easy and relax with some country music and steak. And folks, let me tell you what a steak. It was so beyond good that we forgot to film us eating it. It's worth the trip just to get a bite. It helps that everything and everyone around here is equally incredible. Just 15 minutes outside of Turkey is a place that looks like it could be 1,000 miles outside of Texas. Caprock Canyons State Park. Here, you'll find over 15,000 acres of stunning red rocks and wild roaming bison. It looks like a mini Grand Canyon. There's no shortage of outdoor activities here, from hiking, biking, camping, even lake activities like swimming and fishing, all without having to leave Texas. Caprock officially became a state park in 1982, but Texas had purchased the land a few years earlier in 1975. While it's a bit of a newer state park, the canyons themselves are pretty prehistoric. Formed between 1 to 2 million years ago, the Caprock Canyons have seen civilization from early nomadic hunters to Spanish explorers to modern life today. Our hike was well worth the sweat to overlook this incredible place. Turkey, Texas is an absolute treasure. The Texas hospitality and spirit is incredibly strong here, and we couldn't be happier with how this trip turned out. We're so glad we could bring this piece of Texas to you. And if you ever get the opportunity to visit Turkey, consider yourself lucky. That's all for this episode of the Cowboy Experience. Make sure you subscribe to our channel to join us on our journey across Texas as we find the coolest people, places, and artists this state has to offer. In our next episode, we'll be taking you along as we visit the biggest cowboy church in the U.S. Until then, adios.